Hello, guys. Welcome. It's just two of us today,
Yes, the two of
but
us. Hope more
yes, but
people will
maybe the
join. It's
guys
more
will
fun
join
when
or
there's more
join not.
people.
But anyway, thanks for taking the time to join us.
Hmm.
So we have today. We're gonna do a little bit twist, right? A little bit twist. Um, and so to start with the podcast, and what do you think? What are some of the
Ah,
good memories you had or have in Ghana? So when you're
that's
growing up, what were you thinking?
oh,
What are some of the fun moments?
Christmas, of course.
Okay.
Christmas season is always some of the best, memories that I have growing up. I mean, we have the basic things just made us very, very happy. Christmas time
Mm,
comes, you get new Christmas clothes, shoes, just going to friends and families' house for parties and stuff. Those were some of the best memories. I mean, Christmas is not the same. I mean, if I when I go back right now, it still doesn't feel like it used to,
Good
growing
point.
up in Ghana. Yeah.
no, it's true. I
What
thought
about
I thought like Christmas in the even early '90s was much fun. What do you think?
yeah,
I thought
oh,
a couple of months before Christmas, the celebrations will start. The
right,
Jingle Bell songs, and
right,
you hear this all the time. And so
right.
I thought I said, well, it was a fun moment.
Yeah.
But also, one of my fun memories is also you get to actually have a childhood, right?
The what?
Because it's like you get to actually have a real childhood.
Right, right,
Yeah, so you can just run around all day. You only came home to eat and sleep.
right,
And
right.
so then I enjoy going to school though. I think going to school in Ghana is fun.
Yeah,
What do
that's
you
true.
think?
I did too, especially, I mean, I was always late to school. And you know what they do with latecomers. You have to stand on the side, and then and beating in Ghana was, I don't know if it's still acceptable, but whenever you late, you do get a whipping. So, and I hate to be whipped, but I was always late. So I was always, when I'm getting whipped, I'm always like in a matrix, move. And, and people will make fun of me, like how I'm always like getting into trouble, but yet I hate to be caned. So that was some of the best memories, going to school, just forming a clique and just the life of school, marching to your classes and that kind of stuff. Traditional way of
Mm.
growing up in school in Ghana. Those were some fun days, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, what about you? Remember our day?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Jollof rice. The holiday day is jollof. If you don't bring jollof rice and some Fanta and cookies, oh yeah. That was the best time, our day. And
Our day,
remember the
our day was
songs?
awesome.
Yeah. And
As,
yeah, our Dawa day. Did you used to sing that?
yes, yes, yes. Except though, except after all the festivity, then they have to announce the results, right?
Oh yes, of course. Of
Yeah,
course. Yeah. So you better not party too hard or celebrate too hard. But if you know
that's
you did
right.
good, if you know you
Yep.
did good, you don't care. Yeah. It was
Yeah,
fun.
so especially when your parents will be coming, and then oh man, it was brutal. Like they will actually announce the first 10 top students in the
Yes.
school. Oh man,
Yeah.
talk
Oh,
about
those
pressure.
yes, yes. And then walking home from school, you know,
Mm-hmm.
if you
Mm-hmm.
didn't live, I mean, if your parents didn't have to pick you up and you just have to walk. I mean, just a group walking together. You're not never really walking by yourself. You're walking with a
Mm-hmm.
group of people, and then one by one, everybody turn a certain way, and by the time you know, you're home. So, yeah, I think I don't know if it's still as fun as it was. I mean, back in
Nah, it's
our
different.
days growing up, but it was. I just had the best time growing up in Ghana. The best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony, yeah, I don't know. I'll answer this question. I grew up. I mean, I moved around. I was born in Labadi.
Oh,
Then where do we go? We moved to. I've lived in Teishi. I've lived in Lungwa. I live in Medina, Flagstaff
wow.
House, Airport, um, Spinters. We move up a lot. Like I feel like every
Really?
few years, we my dad was in the military, and so we and then I even went to Dunkwa
Oh,
Offenso to live there. Then I went to the village. It was I was like everywhere. I was like everywhere.
really?
And
Wow.
and I built a lot of memories. A lot of memories over there. Where did you grow up?
I grew up same house that I was born and raised in till I came to the U.S. I grew up in a Salem Down area, Ring Road, um, right next to Paloma, right there.
Hmm.
Yeah, right next to Paloma. Yeah. At the time, Paloma wasn't there. So, yeah, same place. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think now too is like with the development and all that stuff, it's like things have changed a little bit. It's not the
A
same feel,
lot,
right?
a lot, a lot.
Cause I remember when I lived in I live in airport. I'll go to school in license office, right?
Okay.
There was a police and soldier school over there, not far from 37. And then I walk, like now it's like it's a whole different place, right? Sometimes
Yeah,
I walk through, cantonment and stuff like that, and go to school. But now it's like it's a whole different,
it
it's
is.
a whole different thing and
Yeah,
stuff
I
like
mean,
that. So,
and infrastructure. I mean, I know growing up then, a lot of the buildings and establishment were not there. So we used
mm,
to think walking from like less than a mile away was like, like forever. It took ages. It seemed really, really, really far. But now, going back through where I used to walk to school, I'm like, this is like nowhere. But there weren't like those buildings weren't there, different establishments and stuff like that weren't there. So it just as a child, it just seemed like a long, long, long ways to walk.
mhm.
But it's not. It's not. But things have
Did you
changed a lot.
did you have any memories going to the farm, or you were like a city girl, that about something like that?
I never went to the farm. I mean, I grew up in Nasalam. I mean, there's no farms around there. However, during Christmas time, and during certain holidays, we will go to the Cape Coast area to Takoradi and then to all the western regions. We have
Mm,
homes there, so we will travel around there. And then, occasionally we will go to the farm, and it was like the best thing. Once in a while, we go and visit like a relative back in one of the villages somewhere, and then they would take us as a child, and we thought it was the best thing ever, because of course it
mm.
wasn't just go there to just visit, but yeah, it just wasn't a lifestyle.
Yeah,
Is
then
anyone else joining?
my my farm experience was when I was in the village, but then when I live in Medina, aviation, right?
Hmm.
So that time aviation, from aviation all the way to Ashalbocho was just bush.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's where me and my guys, we'll go for night operation. We'll be chasing Bela and, you know,
you chasing what?
Bela. You know what is Bela, right?
Yeah, isn't it rats or
Yeah, those things. Yes, yes.
you were
We
chasing?
deplete we depleted the population, before
Are
I
you
left there.
serious?
Oh man, it's no joke.
Just
And
for
and we
fun
were
or your delicacy?
you gotta eat those things. They are very meaty and tasty, and we hunt them. And sometimes we will cook them in a farm. There's corn because we can always get pepper. The only thing we bring though is salt. We
Really?
bring salt. You can't get salt in the farm, so we bring salt, a little bit water, and then basically it's like, we bring a little knife. We do a little operation. We set a little
Are
bit
you
fire over
serious?
there. We can
Wow.
get tomatoes. We can get some pepper over there,
Oh, wow.
and that was the life for about five. What is it? 5 years and stuff like that. I miss those days.
What an
Yes.
experience. Wow.
Yeah. And
Interesting.
so and then but I also remember too, it was just in general,
Mhm.
I think you become resilient, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that if you're not that about right, you learn a little bit things quickly about life, how to
Mm-hmm.
thrive, how to just be strong, which I think helped some of us when we came here to be
Mm-hmm.
able to navigate right through all the
Mm-hmm.
stress and stuff like that we did, because we know, like, listen, we've already been tested.
Right.
We have reference points. You say, listen, compared to sometimes how we grew up. So
Right.
what are some of the things that you rely on when the goings get tough here, that you can
Um,
rely on to get through?
yeah, I mean, just relying on the fact that, things were not easily accessible to us.
Mm,
So, you know, here I just think that, in America or in the West is such a privilege, to be here where everything is smooth and easy to get. So if things are doesn't come easy, you don't get frustrated because or
mm,
you're not too pressed on that because
correct.
I mean where we come from, we don't have that it's not that easy. Everything is not that smooth. Even if you come from an affluent home, you know how our streets are, you know how it is to get, things done, even at the government office, at private sectors, everywhere. It's not that easy. So you just learn to brush it off because this is no big deal. I mean, I can handle that. I mean, we were brought up to be tough, actually. African kids are brought up, much tougher than, stuff, kids growing up here. So a lot of things was just like, this is easy
Mm,
peasy. Yeah.
true,
Hmm.
true.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on to the second question. Where would you rather live permanently? I mean, if you have to choose between where you are right now and then any of the African countries, where would you rather live, like, permanently? You know.
Can I just go back and forth? I would think I would make my permanent place Ghana, but I wouldn't want to
That-
stay in Ghana for too long. I mean, I want
okay.
to be, I want to have it where I can just travel maybe once or twice, at least twice a year. I
Mm,
don't want to be stationed in one place for long. I
yeah.
think, Ghana, after a while, they drive you crazy. Some of your
Mm,
people, things, just lack of certain basic things. Yeah.
mhm,
So I think I would like to make it my permanent. However, I don't want to be there to the extent that I can't travel anywhere. So I just want to make that my home and then travel at least 2 to 3 times outside and come back home. Yeah. So Ghana would be, and then all the other African countries, I really haven't. I've been to Nigeria and I've been to Senegal, but I haven't stayed there to like,
mhm.
know that that's where I would want to live. But I mean, home is home. Home is home. So Ghana for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me
Yeah.
let me think about it. Where would you rather live permanently? I mean, all things being equal, um, definitely, I think I would choose Ghana,
Hmm.
um, because that's where the heart is. and
Yeah.
and granted, I've spent a lot of my years here. What I'm spending Ghana is just,
Hmm.
home is home, and people
Yeah.
connect differently, right?
Yeah.
But I understand what you're saying is, because I was in the summer for 2 months. I think after about a 2 month mark,
Uh huh.
it's kind of be like, I want to get out, right? But
Yeah.
then it's like, I get out, I come here, then I want to go back right
Same
away,
here.
right?
Same with the moment you're like, well, I miss Ghana.
When you get to JFK, be like, oh man, I want to go back. And so,
Yeah.
but permanently, I think that, and I think with most people, right? Home is
Mhm.
home.
Right.
Even sometimes when home treats you like a stranger, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, but I
Oh,
think,
for
like,
goodness.
if somebody doesn't want to go home,
Mm-hmm.
then it's probably there must be some mitigating circumstances that is preventing them from not going home, because most people
Mm-hmm.
just want to go home.
Yeah.
And I feel like that, every day, stuff like that. Now, if let's say if you couldn't live in Ghana,
Uh-huh. If
okay,
I couldn't live in Ghana,
what other African country do you think
oh,
would be an option?
African countries, I think Rwanda or Kenya.
Okay, why?
Because I mean, from what I see and have read, I mean the way Rwanda went from um, the genocide to where it is right now,
Mhm.
infrastructure, cleanliness, organized. I think I will want to give that a trial, and then I think East Africa. I have a lot of friends from Kenya, and yeah, I mean, from what I've seen and heard about Kenya, I think I'll probably visit there probably next year for sure. But I would
Mm.
like to, live in Kenya. Yeah,
Let me see
Zanzibar,
where.
Tanzania, Zanzibar would be great too.
Yes, yes. The some of the videos can the touristy areas
Yeah.
looks really really nice.
Mhm.
I think if I couldn't live in Ghana, what other African country? Man, it's. I think I might want to live in Togo so I can sneak back into Ghana
But you can't. You can't.
if I can, right? I just want to be over there so I can overlook and see. That's where I
Ah,
used to stay, right? But Rwanda looks very very attractive,
yeah,
for a lot of reasons, and stuff like that. But it's just I don't know, man. I don't know if because if I can't have Ghana, then everything is second. And
yeah.
so I don't know. It's like if I can't have Ghana, then I don't want anything else. You know,
Wow. Hey
is
up to Ghana.
and so it's kind of like that kind of stuff because it's just I really want we got we all the stuff that goes on.
Hmm.
It's like it's
Yeah,
like
and
it's like that relationship. Like in love with something like that. It's like but it's just this pull and so much history, so much promise,
yeah,
and so but I would yeah but the other African country that I really really want to visit is Rwanda.
yeah. Yeah,
Rwanda.
we have something in common.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think too the weather in Kenya or East Africa is a lot. You know, I don't know. The extreme hot heat in Ghana sometimes gets to me a lot when I'm there.
Yeah.
And
The
I
same.
hear that Kenya gets cold, and I don't like to live in the cold in in America either. But I think the weather in Kenya being cold is probably nothing compared to the U.S. So I would like to
Oh yeah.
experience
Yeah.
a weather that is not extremely hot, because that
Yeah.
the weather in Ghana will probably be one of the hardest things for me to live, to live there permanently.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think the city, I think Nairobi is also getting expensive as well. But
Mm,
Kenya also has a beautiful landscape. The mountain. You have the mountain region, just like
mm,
Ethiopia has too, and stuff like that. So you
yeah.
talk about just the wildlife, probably one of the best in Africa, just for
Yeah.
diversity of wildlife and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think you know what what Kagame has done is just
Mhm.
is just showing that the black man and black people can actually create a
Yeah.
almost becoming a first world country, right?
Right.
And so that is something that is very admirable and stuff. But
Yeah.
um,
Why can't we model after that? Why can't,
yeah,
especially from where we are coming from, where they came from was far, far behind, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
So
Maybe,
why is
maybe we
that?
have to
I
go
don't
through a
get that.
civil war, maybe.
No, we don't need
But
to, but we can.
maybe, I mean, if the outcome, right, if that's what you get after that, then it's like,
You have to be
stuff
determined.
like
I
that.
don't know. Yeah.
And so, yeah, thanks for all the people that are watching. Let me give a few shout outs. We have Leslie here, Adrena. Thanks to see you back again. I know there's more people watching than just you two. You can chime in if you have any questions or comment. Just put them in. Thanks for joining us tonight. We are going to continue with this thing, right? So obviously, right? Let's take a question. Now, if we want to live in Ghana, from your perspective, right? What let's say you want to live, or you want to move down there permanently, and or permanently meaning that'll be your primary location, but you will travel back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
What are the two things for you that you think you have to overcome, right, to actually make it like, okay, what are the two things that you feel like if I can
Overcome
overcome these things, then moving there is like easy? What are the two things?
roads, like
Okay.
like the all the roads were so nice and smooth, that. And can I have more than two?
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
would just say constant power and energy
Energy.
and
Okay.
sanitation.
Okay.
If we can, yeah,
Great
those.
points.
But can't you, for the roads, can't you get SUV to deal with most of it?
Oh, but why should we have to get SUV? I just want it just the I don't want it to be eyesore either. I just not
Okay.
I mean SUV can do it, but just can it look
Good point.
nice? Can we just have a nice I'm not even asking for like the best kind of road. Just the basic, nice, smooth, road, So that if our roads and transportation system is up to par, and
Hmm.
power and water. I mean, water, yeah, definitely. And then, sanitation. If we can also ban plastic,
Mm.
all the
Mm.
rubber bags that's
Yeah.
everywhere. It's so
Yeah.
bad. I mean,
Yeah.
Kenya have banned it. So if they can do without, we can also do without. It's a huge problem, I think, in Ghana. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree. I think we need to do something about the plastic. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
So what are the two things that you have to overcome in order to live? Okay. For me,
Mm-hmm.
there's two things that is keeping me. Um, there's more than two,
Mm-hmm.
right? But you can't have everything,
Right.
unfortunately, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's two things that I'm looking at, which is one is education, the quality of education in terms of highly competitive to what is going in the world. And
But
then the
that's
other
that's
one,
because you have young
yeah,
children,
yes.
right?
So for the
So
two girls,
yeah, so
so
yeah.
so
Mhm.
so I'm looking at it from that perspective. I'm not
Right,
saying that all the schools are terrible, but what I'm saying is
right.
that um, it is important that every generation create a foundation for the next generation
Mm-hmm.
to succeed,
That's
to
good
accomplish
point.
more than they did.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, this is fact, right? There's implicit bias. If you have somebody coming from Ghana with, let's say, Prempeh College, right, degree, and then
Mm-hmm.
you have the same person from graduating from here with MIT,
Mm-hmm.
and they're getting a job at the US. Let's say that the student from Africa is the superstar, the brilliant young lady,
Mm-hmm.
but Prempeh College, they don't know anything about Prempeh College, right? MIT they know about. So on the surface, if they're looking at the application, right? On the surface, there's a tendency because of this implicit bias to say, okay, maybe the MIT person was a C student, but that just for the virtue of going to that school opens doors to them, right? And another thing here too is like sometimes when you go to specific schools, your network, right? The
Mm-hmm.
network because of the caliber of people that go to the school. You have access to these networks. So that is some of the reasons. The one for me too is like medical.
Oh
Um,
yes. How
so
did I
so
forget that? Yes.
so for me, those are the two things that primarily
Yes.
is like I'm trying to resolve
Yeah.
before I move. Right, these are the two things I'm
Yeah.
trying to resolve.
Yeah.
And the medical thing was the things I worry about. What if you live about 2 hours away, right? 3 p.m. You live like even like let's say Winneba, right? And
Mm-hmm.
something happens. That Kasua traffic is no joke,
It's
right?
crazy.
It's no joke. And trying to get to Luca or Leicester Hospital, stuff like that, it's no joke, right?
And they don't
So,
even move
so
for ambulance. So
they don't move for ambulance. I've seen it, and
yeah.
because the 3 lanes has been converted to 5 lanes,
Mm-hmm.
so the ambulance definitely is not going anywhere.
Right.
And so these are some of the things too, and also the continuity of care. Sometimes where they have your medical history, your
Mm-hmm.
what you are allergic to and that kind of stuff. So it's those things, that I'm trying to
Yeah, that's
navigate,
so important.
around that, because I feel like it's a trade. You're gonna give up something, right?
Hmm.
Yes. Um, you know, you can't have everything, unfortunately. But if you move to Ghana or Africa, there's some things that you have to tolerate.
Yeah, yeah,
In our lifetime, you have to tolerate. It's a matter of you picking and choosing. Let's say if
yeah.
you're retired and then you go, you don't have children. If you don't have children, then the education thing does is not more relevant to you, right?
Mm,
um and that kind of stuff. So people is it's like there's no one formula for everything, right? So it's just a matter of you deciding what is important for you and how much you're willing, to deal with that. So if you get an SUV, you're gonna pay more money. Duty is gonna be more money, right?
right.
Gas is gonna kill you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's gonna be a little bit safer. You can get to most places. So it's just like a balance in that. Um, yeah. So these are some of the things that we're talking about. Cornell is a good school, by the way, the beautiful campus. And so these are
Wow,
some of
that's
the
good.
advantages
Yeah,
that if you are here, you may have, and that kind of stuff. So
that's wonderful.
when
Let's
are you
see.
when are you moving next year?
Who?
You.
Actually, if all things, you know, if all plans work out the way I wanted to, um, today, today if
Mm,
possible,
yeah,
but even yesterday, but realistically, I'm looking at the next 2 years to 2 to 5 years, but definitely toward closer to 2 years. Yeah,
2 years. Uh,
yeah.
no, I get asked those questions, and sometimes is I thought when I was building the castle, I said 5 years. Then
Mm,
I push it back for the two reasons that I named. But I also think too, to be realistic is just, I will have to. I'm not. I don't see myself making a complete relocation. I'll
mm-hmm,
probably go to 6 months.
mm-hmm,
And before I get down there, there's a series of things which tomorrow's video, I'm going to talk about planning, what planning looks like from my
mm-hmm.
perspective, what you should be looking at. Because when you take the kids into that environment, not every child is going to adjust very well, especially when you degrade or you reduce the life they have here, right?
Yeah,
When you start cutting back on a lot of things,
yeah.
it could have a negative impact and stuff like that. So
Right.
um for me, it's kind of like I'll do it when I'm really ready. There's no
Mhm.
timeline.
Yeah, I think
um
that's the
you know
best way to say
yeah,
it, really. Yeah.
there's no time, but I probably will start phasing myself in by going there maybe every 2 months, that kind of stuff, just stuff before I do the full, unless
Mm-hmm.
something crazy happened. I feel like, okay, I gotta move over there.
Yeah.
But if I'm planning, I'll probably gonna it's gonna be a transition, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a
Yeah.
transition. um and all right, let's take all right, this question: if you could pin the life you want in Ghana, how would it be? So if you picture perfect, so let's say no restrictions, if you move
Mm-hmm.
and you could go your wildest dream, how do you want to live in Ghana? um who's gonna be there? Who's not gonna be there? um where will you live? What's the life?
How am I gonna live? Like how my lifestyle is going to be like, or how
It's
I
going to be,
envision.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I think I want to just, be comfortable living in my home. I'm still not really done, in my place. So once everything is done and everything is in place, I just want to have like a successful business going
Hmm.
for me. I would like
Hmm.
to have multiple streams of incomes abroad, so that, and also have business or businesses in Ghana.
Hmm.
And if everything is going well, I mean, I can rely on it. And in case, business is not taking off as planned, then I can also rely on the other streams of income from abroad. And I just also want to just travel more within
Mhm.
Africa, and also travel outside of Africa, but really discover Africa itself, and join the entertainment industry, and do some documentaries, movies, documentaries
Awesome.
telling other people's stories. Yeah.
So where would you live? Will you live in a city? Will you be out? Will you have another
I
home somewhere
okay.
outside?
Accra, of course. I mean, Accra, outside of Accra, I think where I am, where I'm building, I don't mind living there.
Okay.
It's fine.
Mhm.
Of course, if I can afford a house in Easily Gone or Cantonments,
Mhm.
or,
Oh, go
close to the
for it. So
airport.
there's no restrictions now.
Oh, no
So there's no
restrictions,
restriction. No,
definitely.
no
I'll
restrictions.
have
Yeah.
homes in, Cantonment, Easily Gone, even Osu, and Western
Nice.
region for sure. Western
Okay.
region is, Takoradi, Busia, and also Kumasi. Yeah, we
Mm.
love to live there.
What
So,
car will you drive?
I'm looking at Jeep Wrangler.
Okay.
I mean, it'll be a fun car to, get along, get around in a Jeep Wrangler, or like a nicer SUV. But I think I would love to just cruise around with that. And then for like another car that I'll have when I'm just want to like dress up and look good, and like in a, is it
Mm.
AMG, nice Mercedes
AMG, like,
Benz would be, yeah, would be
okay.
nice.
A G
Yes.
Wagon,
G Wagon, yeah.
Brabus 800.
That
Nice,
would be
nice.
nice. That would be nice. Yeah. What about you?
They're gonna say Tony's bougie. Um, definitely. I have homes, one in the north,
Okay.
one in east, um, one in the city. The city one, maybe by airport, like a condo, like a two-bedroom condo. Then another home not too far away from that in the city. Um, and then running a couple of businesses.
Mm-hmm.
I'll travel a little bit, primarily within African countries.
Hmm.
Um, what would I drive?
Yes,
I like
since
big
money is
cars.
not. Mhm.
I like big cars, so I'll get my dream car. One of my dream cars is Mercedes Maybach, and then a Rolls Royce.
Oh,
Yeah, customized Rolls Royce, black on
wow.
black. Um, and and then you need off the road vehicle. Jeep Wranglers are good,
Mm-hmm.
so you're gonna need something that you can go anywhere, right? You can travel
Yeah.
anywhere, you know.
Rubik.
So
Yeah.
some kind of like
Rubicon.
off-road vehicle, SUV.
Yes.
Then I also want to maybe spend a lot of time on some charity work that I'm thinking about doing,
Oh, yes.
um, and just some mentorship, with young kids, letting them know everything is achievable. They don't
Yes.
have to be in politics to
To make
that's
money.
not the only way to be
Oh, it's so
successful.
hard in here.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so but it's like, so that would be, and also get to the point that my life would have had a meaning,
Mm-hmm.
that regardless of what my limitation was, I was able to actually make a difference,
Mm-hmm.
um no matter how limited the people are, but also leave a legacy. So that would be the life. And then the nightlife, man, I'm doing nightlife till I get tired. This
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that they're gonna wheel me in into the
The
and they
nightlife.
can't kick me out because I'll be the owner of the nightlife. I'll be able
Oh,
to.
nice, nice. I
So
think,
I'm coming in the elevator somehow,
yeah.
stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that is life. And actually, I'm doing everything possible,
Mm-hmm.
to make sure I can leave most of these things, stuff like that. And I think it's fun doing it in Canada and here.
Right.
You know, it's like, when you go out, like, I don't even go out. Do you even go out here? I don't go out.
Here
Um,
or in Ghana?
yeah, here.
Yeah. But in Ghana, you're everywhere.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's
Yeah,
sometimes I look at them like, why am I even in this house? Because I'm never here anyway.
right.
So, but it's just too is the memories. The memories go deep,
Hmm.
and you see a lot of things over there, and you see that you can really make an impact.
Yeah,
Um, and you can help a lot of people with little, right?
yeah, yeah,
Stuff like that. So that is the thing that I appreciate a lot. So I stay in this dream, my dream of how exactly I want to live in Ghana,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
and
I think that charity work is very, very important, and it's also very important to me. And I definitely want to, start doing something. And like you said, very little, something small goes a long way. Like if you buy shoes for the kids playing football without, shoes, just one tennis shoes alone would just make somebody's life very, very exciting. And I don't think that costs a lot of money, to do that as a start.
yeah, yeah. So like whatever you become, I always feel like there's always a social obligation and responsibility
Hmm.
to make sure that the people around you or the people that really need the help,
Hmm.
you can also give back. It's always important,
Yeah,
to have that. So we kind of like, part of the dream also to be able to even do it on a
yeah,
larger scale, right?
right,
And you don't want to get into politics because you get in there, then it becomes anything. So just be private and
right.
just do your thing, and stay out of all the other stuff.
Yeah.
So then, when when you look at Ghana now for where it is now, are you hopeful? Are you concerned? What do you think?
I'm very hopeful. I'm very, very, very hopeful because although, we have a little bit of ways to go. Ghana is really on the map. I mean, as far as we're a very small country, but if you think of any African country that are doing positive things, Ghana is still, you hear about Ghana. You hear about people talking about Ghana. We hear about people want to move to Ghana and go to Ghana. And I think also because we're very welcoming, but peace is very good to have.
Hmm.
And I believe that we do have a sense of peace. All the tribes in Ghana, in general, we get along very well. Religions, we all try to respect each other's religion without, so because of stuff like that, respect for each other's tribe and religion give us the sense of peace that we have. And with that, I think we can go even further if
Hmm.
our leaders are not, get away from corruption and just really try to see Ghana, as a gateway for Africa, and see Ghana as, that we can also become a first class, country in the world. It's possible. We have all the resources um, there. So, I just have high hopes for Ghana. Mhm.
Yes. From my view, I'm not hopeless. Um, I'm not hopeless. Sometimes I get a little bit concerned, and the concern is coming from there's so much potential, because it's like, man, is Africans kick butts when we go
Mhm.
outside. The things we accomplish a lot, we do a lot, and so there's smart people in these African countries,
Mhm.
and most of the problems are solvable. Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
solvable. And so the hope for me um, is that even I, in my limited ways, and to do the things that I'm trying to do, I know people who are even much better than me
Mhm.
can even do greater things, right? And
Mhm.
and the whole thing for me is like we just got to get it together, right? These problems are not difficult to tackle.
Yeah.
And so I'm hopeful. Overall, I'm hopeful. That is why we put money down there, right?
Mhm.
Um, but I want soon also to see Ghana at its potential, like in my lifetime. You see what
Yes.
I'm saying? I want to see that in my lifetime, to know that
Hmm.
I say, listen, we went through a lot of times, but we've gotten so far and we've made changes.
Hmm.
And we can't. We're smart people. We're resilient. We can do things. We just have to desire these things more. We just and for me, one of the things that I think affect us is average is best. You know,
I
Mediocrity has been
know.
excellence, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm pushing everybody around me. Said no. Remember your pedigree. Know your history, where you came from, what you gave to the world.
Hmm.
Building an infrastructure is nothing,
Yeah.
because you gave a lot to the world. So those things. And so I think once we get to that mindset, we will actually, solve these issues that,
Yeah.
hey, Rwanda is showing us it can be done, right?
Yeah.
So with starting almost from nothing. So I'm hopeful. It's just that I'm like I want it yesterday, right?
Yeah.
I want a development yesterday.
Yeah, and we're so capable. We're so capable, and I think, like you said, we're so comfortable, with having the very basics. And even when you try to let them know that, hey, we can do better. That there's so much potential in us. We can do far better. They just like, oh, for our virtue, no corner why. It's like you trying to help them and they're trying to snub you, like, oh, this is not America. It's like, why can't it work here? Why
Hmm.
can't it work here? It's possible. So
Yeah,
let's all come together and try and just have a certain mindset, that would take
yeah,
us to the next level. Yeah.
yeah.
I think.
One thing I've noticed, even I think we also lack confidence, right? We lack confidence. I'm seeing that a lot. Even our brightest superstars. You
Mhm.
can meet somebody in Ghana who is very, very smart uh, intellectually, but then they're not confident, right? They don't believe that, listen, you can, within 5 years, you can get from A to B, right? So I think that needs to connect, because if you don't believe you can get from A to B, then you're not even going to put in the work, right? So, um, whatever you've seen, it can be done. Whatever, if somebody has been able to put 6 lanes, you know, we can do that. And it has nothing to do with the intellect per se. Is the
Mhm.
will and the desire to say, listen, we don't want to have one road back and forth from all these major cities.
Mhm.
We just, if that means we're going to suffer for a few years building all this road, that's fine. But we
Mhm.
can also develop these things. And so overall, like Comprin says, is the mindset, and the more we are trying to dilute that mindset, the better. The
Mhm.
better is going to be, because once the mindset change, basically the other things is just staying focused and getting things done. So, but I'm just
Yeah.
hoping it's in my lifetime, right? Because
Yeah.
um, not everybody can buy the SUV, right?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
not not everybody can solve the power issue, you know. And so it's like, but we get to a place that is working for majority of the people of the country, then I think that'll be good.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, do you agree that before you permanently move, at least you have to have a house,
Oh,
or
very.
or you have to take care of accommodation?
It's you have to have a house. I mean, not everybody wants to own a house, but I think having your own makes things a whole lot better, because even if your business is not doing well, or you don't have a job, or you lose your job, at least you have a place to, lay your head. Um,
Mhm.
and you don't have to worry about the landlord, knocking on your door at a certain time, like, badgering you. But I think it's very important, to have that. Because once you have that, just you can even just worry about what you're going to eat and how you're going to get from point A to B, if that's the very basic. Eh, if nothing at all, at least once you have that, you'll be okay. But having a place to call your own is extremely important, you know
Mhm.
unless you can afford to rent. And
Yeah. So when I was in Ghana this summer, one of the things I'm finding out is the rent. The
so
this rent is, they're treating the rent like how land prices are going, right?
wow. Mm.
It is it is jumping, sometimes tripled.
Wow.
I know they have rent control, which they're
Mhm.
trying to deal with this thing, but and I thought about it because I have relatives that are renting, and I thought
Mhm.
about it. I'm saying, man, at the rate you're charging this rent, their income is not going to match it. So it is pushing people out.
Mhm.
There's a lot of people moving outside Accra, right?
Mhm.
Um,
Moving outside of a car.
you're moving outside because the renters, because they just can't
Yeah,
really,
it's
it's pushing them
expensive.
out. And so my
Right.
question, the only thing sometimes I worry about is you may have a budget, right?
Mhm.
You have a budget for your
It's like
rent, and then the next year the guy wants to double it, right?
mm,
And then you go someplace, oh, they know that you're from here. Guess what? You're paying that price.
right.
And so that is some stress. Um, that's some stress that I feel like people, I don't want to put myself in because it's out of your control per se, right?
Mhm.
And so at least unless you get some good deal, then and I'm not a fan of moving down there trying to build because then you are depleting the resources, right?
You're not a
You
fan of
know,
what?
like
Trying to.
moving to Ghana and then you trying to build in Ghana with the money you brought, right?
Okay.
Because unless unless maybe you planned, you have the cash and you want to go do that,
Mhm.
but you know how it is. The money is gonna go fast, right?
Mhm.
All this stuff is gonna happen. So if and it doesn't have to be like our house. I'll consider our house big homes.
Mhm.
Bungalow size style something is fine, but I would say either complete before you move
Mhm.
or get
That's
close to completion
right. Right.
before
And
you
if
move.
you
But
have a bungalow size house, I think you can even do it within a few months. You know, a small house, you have the money already. You can do that, within a few months, and then, move there at least for now until, at least you have that place to live until you're ready and able to slowly build, the dream house. I think that would
mhm,
be, a good way of going about
yeah,
it.
and
Hmm.
and I think sometimes too. I mean, I've heard this. Sometimes people will be like, "Okay, I want to move to Africa. I don't know if I really gonna stay there. I think
Hmm.
so." And so they don't want to invest in, put all this capital into a house here.
Hmm.
That is also a concern. That has a legitimate concern. But I always say that if that's the case, then make sure that you're not depleting all your resources just for the house. Worst case, you can sell it, right? If you decide
Exactly.
it's
So I'm
not
gonna
for
say
you,
and make more because
yeah, you're gonna make
it
more, sell
appreciates
it
homes. Yeah. Hmm.
and stuff like that. So it's just one of those questions. So,
Yeah.
so you said 5 to 25 years you're gonna move to Ghana, right? So,
5 to 25 years.
or is that now to
25
5 years?
years. No, I like I said, yesterday or even today, but ideally, like as you said, you really can't put a time to it because you can say 2 years or 5 years, and something may change. But if
Mhm.
I, have my way, I would say within the next 2 years. But it won't be a permanent
Yeah.
move.
Mhm.
Yeah, it'll just be where Ghana will be like the permanent place, but I will also want to still own a property here in the U.S. where and have it put it for rent. This way, you have a place
Make
to
it
come
move.
to when you are travel outside. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tomorrow on my other channel, Forever Home channel, which some of you are watching from there. Appreciate, thank you. is I'm going to discuss my breakdown, the preparation. I'm doing this new series on that channel, which
Mm-hmm.
we're going to start with preparation, and then I'm going to every week I'm going to tackle the next step, like how I did with building in Castle. So
Mm-hmm.
preparation, I'm just going to give you all the aspects you should look at. It's not meant to scare you. It's
Mm-hmm.
just meant to just give you information and then know that each family dynamics is different, what you should look at. So I want you to tune in tomorrow, 11:30 Central Time, and so you can ask questions over there. And then the week after is going to be the visit. When you visit Africa for the first time, you think about moving, what you should look at, because um, going on vacation is different from trying to move over there, right?
Right.
Everybody can do 2 weeks.
See things
Not
totally
not
different.
everybody can do 2 years, right? And so those things, just to give you some idea and stuff like that, because my goal is you move there and your widest dreams come true and you're successful. Because if we are going to build Africa, budgeting $10 a day is not going to cut it, right? That's just realistic. So
I have a
go ahead.
question for you. Maybe we can discuss that too on your channel. Do you think like certain materials you can buy and hold on to it because of inflation? Can you buy like iron rods or like I know cement will probably go bad after a certain time. Do you
Mhm.
advise on buying certain materials and store it just in case um, you know prices
It
go up as it does in
um
Ghana all the time?
I only recommend that only if you have a good storage. Okay,
Mm,
good storage meaning tying the iron rods to a building with chains is not going to work. They're cutting them now,
yes,
right?
inside like having it
They are
indoor.
removing them. So it
Hmm.
is, and preferably where it's being stored, somebody lives there, right? So pretty much you could buy these things just to mitigate against the price gouging that happens. But
Hmm.
the only thing, and sometimes the cement you can lock in deals for like 6 months, right? For at a
Okay.
certain price and that kind of stuff. So literally, you could pretty buy everything except maybe the cement that you have to use within from production to usage within 3 months, stored at a good environment.
Hmm.
So if you, and sometimes finding the storage can be challenging,
Yeah.
right? It can be challenging and stuff like that. So most people, with iron rods, what people are doing, they are putting them into containers, right?
Mm.
And securing them in
Okay.
the stuff. But if it's outside, they are taking, especially the high tensing one, they are taking them.
Mm.
They're taking them out. So there's a bunch of things you can do just to mitigate some of the costs, because the costs can get out of hand. And Ashanti people tell you, building, you always exceed the budget.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
always exceed the budget. So that's the thing. Every step of the way, you exceeding the budget. Either they
Right.
forgot to add something, or
Mhm.
by the time the quote
Something
came and you send the money, the price have changed.
right.
So these things are things that we can't really control as builders. But anyway,
Right.
so any last message for everybody that was watching?
As far as moving home or
Yes, if I was moving home, how to deal, go to Africa and stuff like that.
I just think if you and if you, home is where the heart is, and no matter what, even if I live in like a mansion in Beverly Hills, I have butlers and people serving me, I still will want to go to Ghana. I still want to
Mhm.
experience that African soil, that African,
Great points.
red sand. Home is home, so definitely it's good to prepare to be home. Unless you just, I've met some people here in the US from Ghana that just don't care, to go back to Ghana. They just say,
Mhm.
oh, well, I have all my family here. What's the point of going there? I don't feel that way. I just feel like home is home. So no matter what, I will want to live there, or at least I will want to spend a lot of my time there. And so you just have to, if that's you, then you just have to make preparation for that.
Yeah,
And if nothing else, just secure a place to call home, a house,
yeah.
or a place to live. Yeah.
Thank you. I agree. I agree with everything you said. So the preparation video tomorrow comes up. So
Mhm.
tune in, and then we're gonna talk about what it should look like. My take, right? And you can just add it to your preparation, because a lot of people say they prepare, but if you're coming back 6 months, 1 year, 2 years,
Yeah.
something
That's my
didn't.
fear because I've seen people, doing that. I'm like, oh my God, why are they going back? I was, rooting for them and I just wanted them to make it, I wanted
Yeah.
to make it work for them. But, it's just heartbreaking when I see that. And it kind of discourages you a little bit. But, I guess it's all stems, with preparation. Yeah.
Yes, yes, and that is
Mhm.
why that video became necessity, because I think people misunderestimating a couple of things that will
Yeah.
come up. That will come
Right.
up. So we're gonna break it all down tomorrow. Thank you all the wonderful people for joining me. I know it's late wherever you
Yes.
are. I appreciate you taking the time to stay. I appreciate Shanti Queen. I was actually going to postpone these things, but she reached out to me. She's like, "Hey, what's going on?" So I'm glad we able to do this thing. So subscribe to this channel, the Bravo Podcast as
Yes.
well.
Right.
Thank you, and we'll talk later. Thanks.
Yes. Thank